This episode of the Date Podcast is sponsored by Bopsy. Meet up to 6 people over mobile video. It's video speed dating. Download Bopsy in the Google Play Store or iTunes. Check out bopsy.com.
We know you love us, but the information on our podcast is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. I understand I'm both an LPC and an LMFT. However, this is not intended as a substitute for professional services of any kind. If you or anyone you know needs professional help, please seek mental health services.
So Emma is fixing her hair, and she's going with the bun look today. But
like a ponytail.
hey, this is Zorric.
And Emma with the ponytail.
With a ponytail, and today it's just another show, right?
Yeah.
Another show with a guest of ours. His name is Josh Schneider.
I'm so excited.
He's
Oh my goodness.
It's just it's a very deep voice. It's very Barry Manilow or Barry White.
Very white.
Barry
Yes,
White.
Very white.
Ooh.
I'm getting kind of turned on here, but
I like
okay.
this.
Software developer, improv nerd, and he is a nerd in general, or maybe general nerd.
General nerd. Yes.
General
nerd returning for duty.
So we'll talk
General
to
nerd. Okay.
Josh as Emma and Josh. They're doing a salute or something like
That's
that.
from How I Met Your Mother.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I've seen that.
That's what we just did. Okay.
Okay. And on top of that, we'll talk about a topic that's called what you instantly and unintentionally reveal about yourself.
Ooh.
And so it's like first impressions, basically.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Very interesting because it has to do with quick things.
Yeah.
I'm not being sexual either.
No, because I mean, the first moment that you meet someone, you're really you're presenting yourself, and a lot of people are either captivated by it or they're not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
It'll be good. But first, I want you guys to tell all your friends to listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcast. And then when they subscribe, they need to leave us a review.
a good one.
A good review.
Or a bad one, that's fine.
No, they need to write how much they love us. That's what they need to do.
Okay.
And then that's all you need to do. You need to subscribe. So tell one of your friends to subscribe. And then when your friend subscribes, leave us a review and tell us how amazing we are. I think that works.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then if you have any message topics, comments, or anything else that you want to tell us, you can leave us email at hello@datepodcast.com, or you can follow us on @datepodcast on Instagram and Twitter.
Nice. So
Yeah.
now for the fun stuff. I
Ooh.
have.
Oh, God. I can't, y'all. I can't. Okay. I don't even know.
All right.
Oh, my
So-
gosh. What is this?
So Emma recommended that I read this book called "He's Just
Not that into you. That is such a good book.
It is a really good book, and so I just want to
Did
talk.
you buy
couple
it on
minutes.
Kindle? Because I have a book copy I would have just let you borrow.
I use Audible because I'm lazy.
Oh, okay,
Um,
fine.
So, but it was really eye-opening, and this is kind of the gut. Not guys.
Do you know how it became famous?
Okay.
It became famous because in Sex and the City, they mentioned the book, and then everybody got the book, and then it became famous. And then, of course, it was made into the movie. He's Just Not That Into You. That started with Jennifer Goodwin, and then, of course, it came back up again, and then they revised it and reviewed it.
Yeah.
It's a really great book.
Have you read this book, Josh?
I have not read this book, but reading through the bullet points so far, it's okay, duh.
Yeah.
Right, duh to you guys as men, not duh to us as women.
Oh no, I mean it from when women are just not that into me.
Oh, okay,
The
okay.
stuff is oh no, that's right.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
So what I got out of this
Yep.
is that busy means asshole. It says it in the book too.
Yes.
So if someone's being busy, that means that they're just not you're not a priority, basically.
Right.
And that's what she equates it to, or he.
Because it's Greg
Bernadette and
sure, and
Liz.
the Tuchilo?
Yes.
Tucilo?
But it just kind of solidifies what I live is whenever I'm not interested in somebody, I'm not focusing on that person.
Right.
Where I'm not going to ask him out, I'm not going to text him, I'm just going to keep them kind of away.
Right.
and focus on other things.
Yeah.
So it's a great book for everybody out there. What did you get anything out of this, or did the book?
Oh my gosh, the book was like life changing.
Yeah,
Do I
it is.
actually heed the advice at this moment? No, but
Of
it's
course
still
not.
good.
I'm one of the hardest lessons I think I'm learning as I'm 38 years old, so I should still be learning things, is to recognize when somebody's not giving you enough
Right.
and say
Yeah.
it's okay to walk away, because
Yes.
if they're not giving you enough, they're probably never going to give you enough.
Right. And I think that it's a very like it's sort of like instinctual for us to be like refused by someone and then like want to get that person's approval. Like, no, you will like me. You will fall in love with me. I will make you want me and I'll show you all the reasons why, which is not helpful.
Oh no, I'll go you one worse.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
that feeling in the back of your head of, if I walk away from this person, there might not be another.
Oh, no, we all feel that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just holding on to it, trying to make it work. And so the book talks about all this. It talks
Yes,
about
it does.
12 different things that you can find, or you can see, 12 signs where you can just tell. If you heed these 12 signs, you can tell he's just not into you.
Right. And if you're not a book reader, watch the movie. It's basically the same thing, but in a 2-hour form.
Okay. Great
I
book.
recommend the book, though. Read the book.
Okay.
Make that like be your read for the week.
Brought to you by Emma. Okay, so we have Josh here, Josh Schneider,
I hate that noise so much.
in the studio. And Josh,
I'm just gonna take a drink.
There's an
now.
official sound in everything.
there is.
Yep.
So we know you, or I know you from DCH, or we know each other.
Can you remind people what DCH is?
DCH is the Dallas Comedy House
Thank
in
you.
Deep Ellum, for those that are not
me
from,
to it.
from Dallas. So you're a DCH performer,
I am.
and how do you like that so far?
Improv has been like the most fun and the most difficult thing I think I've done in the last couple of years. I mean, just at the end of the day, you're grown-ups playing make-believe.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest. But make-believe is hard.
As an adult.
As an adult, yes. No, I got this experience. My 11-year-old son, I have kids. My 11-year-old son did kids camp this year.
Okay.
And so I got to experience improv through his eyes. I went to his performances every day and I talked with him every day. And it's so much easier for kids
Yes.
because they have no filter. They don't think about anything. They just roll out with whatever crazy idea they have, or they'll back whatever their crazy idea. Adults, we're like, I don't know if I want to be associated with that idea. I
Right.
don't know if I want to back that one.
Yeah, they have, from like, I don't know, because I've worked with kids all my life too. Like, part of it comes from, I think the more that we grow up, the less creative we are allowed to be. And I think that part of being able to step into that fantasy land, that whimsical world, comes from being able to be creative. We're not creative as adults, or at least we're told that like it's not okay for us to be creative as adults. And so we lose that imagination, we lose that play.
I'm going to give an alternate take on that.
Ooh, okay.
Give it.
I think that we, as adults, get like beat into us to be presentable and to be empathetic and that, and we basically get a lot of filters that are shoved our way. So it's not that we're not creative; it's that creativity has a lot of layers it has to get through to get out, and all those layers are possible to shut it down. You know, I don't want to say that because that might not resonate well with these people, or I don't want to say
Right.
that because somebody in the audience might be offended. And that's a hard thing to overcome.
Gotcha. So speaking of kids camp, you were born and raised here.
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Fascinating story. I am a Navy brat. So I was born in Mesquite. If you don't know Dallas,
Mesquite High School, North Mesquite.
North Mesquite.
I'm Mesquite.
North Mesquite Stallion.
like
class of
rivals?
98. We are
Yeah.
crosstown
Oh my
rivals.
gosh.
There should be a
They're
highway right
rivals.
there.
That's it. I'm taking my headphones off. I'm going, no. I was born at Mesquite Community Hospital, which is now Gray Site. It doesn't exist. It got torn down.
Yeah.
I've lived all over the U.S. I've lived in 29 Palms, California. I've lived in Norfolk, Virginia. I've lived in Charleston, South Carolina. I've lived in New Orleans, Louisiana, a little town called Munford, Tennessee, outside of Memphis. I've lived all over the place. But every summer, my mom would send us back here to my grandparents' house for like a month. And so my extended family on my mom's side is all here in Dallas. So I kind of grew up around Dallas, but I'm not originally like living in Dallas until high school.
So you spent high school here?
I spent the last 2 years of high school here.
Okay.
Freshman year was hell year because I was in 3 different schools.
Oh no!
And my freshman year of high school went from the first week of August to the last week of June. Because I went through schools in South Carolina, Tennessee, and California, all within that school year.
So were you quite the dater back then? Were you dating women, or were you moving too much, or?
I did not start dating until I went to college after I graduated high school.
Okay.
I had girls that I had crushes on in high school. But I didn't really start dating until I got into college. My first college girlfriend was a girl that I'm still friends with these days. She's married and lives in New York, but we had a birthday on the same day, same month, day, and year.
I've met somebody like that too. What do they call it? They call it like a, what is that in like the astrological term? Like something not a soulmate, but like whatever.
Yeah, you got me.
A sign mate?
Like maybe it's something similar to that.
I don't know.
It's like anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I didn't really start dating though for quite a while. It's like I didn't have my first beer until I was 22. Like I didn't start cursing until I was almost 20.
Why is that? Is it because your family, or you were like your choice?
Just never really felt compelled to do it. It's just like I didn't get my driver's license until I was 18, until I graduated high school.
Yeah.
Because I grew up on military bases. I didn't
right.
walk everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't until we moved here that it's like, okay, I guess I need a driver's license.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you grew up like in London or New York, you really don't need a driver's license if you're going to be using public transportation.
I have a best friend that lives in Boston. She, when she moved to Boston, sold her car because it's more expensive to have and maintain parking and gas and registration and everything than it is to just take the metro everywhere.
Yeah. So 2 years here, last 2 years of high school, and you just kind of have been here ever since?
Yep.
Okay.
I've had designs of moving a couple of different times. Number one, my mom still lives here. My dad passed away 9 years ago, but he was here as well. And there was a point in time around 2003, 2004 when I, got married and, had kids and all of that. So that all kind of kept me around here for a while.
Okay. And I'm assuming your kids are here and all that. Okay. So how is that with dating? Like, how has that been?
It definitely ups the difficulty level.
Yeah.
We're dating on probably hard mode, not quite in hardcore mode.
Okay.
And it's probably worth level setting to, I'm going to define a difference between two terms just so that we're all speaking the same language.
Okay.
Co-parents versus single parents.
Okay.
Co-parents are like what me and my ex-wife have. We have the kids. We both share responsibility and custody for them. We are parenting as a team even though we don't live together and that. That is a different experience than a single parent who has their kid full time and maybe the other spouse is either not in the picture or spends so little time that it's not.
They're just not existent. Yeah.
And I draw that distinction because I have dated never been married, no kids type people. I have dated other co-parents, or at least tried to, and I have dated a single parent, and each one is its own separate grab bag of problems and obstacles.
Yeah, what I hear is people
sure.
with kids prefer to date other people with kids. Is that correct from what you think?
I would say, again, yes and no. The difficulty that I've had with dating people that are never been married, no kids, is they have a difficult time with the idea, and Emma, sorry.
It's okay.
Kids come first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll always be 1.5 in the relationship because the kids are 1. I had a girl that I was dating a few years ago. We had planned this entire weekend that we were going to spend together. She lived in Carrollton. I live in Forney, which if you don't know Forney, if you go out past the suburbs east, just outside of town where you're starting to wonder if you're lost. You've probably found your way to Forney. It's 2 exits along 80. You know, it's where I live because it's where my ex-wife and my kids are, and I like being close to them because custody and everything's super easy when you live right close to each other.
Yes.
This girl lived up in Carrollton, and so it was like an hour drive to go and visit her one way, and we'd had this whole weekend planned, and we were making dinner and talking about what we were going to do for the weekend, and I get this text that my oldest son has left his jacket at my house, and it's supposed to be 20 degrees the next day. And he only had the one jacket, and it's at my house. So I had to drive back home, and it's like, well, once I drive an hour back home, I don't want to drive an hour all the way back out here.
Yeah.
And I felt terrible, but it's like, I got dad comes first, so I got to go do the dad thing. And that girl and I didn't work out.
Yeah. So this is in reference to something that we spoke like off air, where I was telling Josh that I typically don't date guys with kids because of that, because I'm rather selfish. I can admit to that. And so I want to be someone's priority. And I respect the fact that when you become a parent, it's not going to be that situation.
Your priorities will always be divided.
Right. And so it is really difficult, like I will say, like to find someone that's single without kids. However, like this is a value of mine. And so I want to make sure that I can meet that value for myself. So it's not anything against like people who have kids. It's just like, I know what my needs are and I know what I want in their relationship.
Brad Pitt has kids.
Okay.
Would you date him?
He has kids. Does he have shared custody with Angelina?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Then probably not.
My point is,
it's a beautiful fantasy, but again, like I'm not going to be his priority.
Yeah. I was trying to make that point. Like maybe he has other aspects that you may like, may or may not like, or that kind of that are stronger than, that kind of outshine the whole kid thing to you. But I guess that's a hard no for you.
It is a hard no for me. And so, I mean, I think, okay, let's say I find the Brad Pitt of, whoever I'm going to marry. Like, that is a very hard decision. However, like Josh and I also spoke off air about his co-parenting skills. And I think that that's amazing. And so, like, knowing that he has a good relationship with his ex-wife and that he is able to have a co-parenting, like, team with her.
Yeah.
And this is functioning and this works well. It makes it easier to say then yes, like I could see myself in a relationship with someone if this were happening. However, this is a magical unicorn right here. Do y'all agree or disagree?
I'll be honest with you, I have not heard a lot of stories like mine.
Right,
so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can tell you that you are a magical unicorn. If I could take it on the road, I would. Because like in my family work, this has been very difficult to find.
I think Emma likes Josh.
No, we've just established she would never date me. I have kids.
It's getting kind of hot in here. Go ahead, Emma. Go ahead.
However, like I'm just saying, like it makes it easier when you co-parent well.
Yeah.
It like because the drama is what I'm not looking for. I don't want to, one, already not be your first priority, and then number two, have to deal with someone else like being argumentative with me over something that I have nothing to do with, right?
Yeah.
Because I've seen it in family therapy. I've seen it. The kids will pit the parents against each other, which is why it's important for the parents to have the main communication. And so it's not about like this whole, my kid said this, how dare you do this? It's about like, hey, this is what, like, I want to know from you, like, what happened, right?
Yeah. So Emma is celibate. And we talk about this all the time. But
gosh, I hate you so much.
Once per episode, yeah.
But Josh, do you get into those relationships where the girl or the woman,
Sure.
the woman,
the female,
let's
the
go with
lady.
woman.
You date her, but she's against having kids, but she still dates you.
So that's another important distinction to draw too, because I have kids. That doesn't mean I want more.
Right.
In fact, actually, like I I got asked this question. Would you want to have more kids? Well, I'm never say never, but I've got two. I'm pretty happy with those two. I don't really need more. And I'm 38. I don't know that I want to have an infant at this point. I've done the sleepless nights. I've done all that stuff. I have my merit badge. I'm happy to go on life without doing that.
Yeah, well, let me clarify it. Maybe she doesn't want to date someone with kids. Because there's some guys that start dating women that are celibate, and they're like, oh, let's just try. Let's go for it. And they try to convince the woman to have sex with them, and it just never works out.
I don't get what your point is. I'm trying to understand.
My point
and
is,
it's just not connecting. The thoughts are not connecting.
People have this feeling that say this is a deal breaker, but they still go with it because they may like this or that about you, Josh. But they still try.
If it's a deal breaker, it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing about me, and actually one of the things I think is more interesting too, because we're all about the same age, those of us sitting in this room, we are in a really interesting position because I had this conversation with the girl that I'm dating right now about traditional gender roles in dating.
Yes.
Because our generation, I think, was raised with the idea of traditional gender roles.
I agree that my generation was too, or it could just be, my ethnicity. I don't know.
The man goes out and he gets a job and brings home the bacon, and he gets a hot meal on the table every night, and the woman just sits there and takes care of the house and the kids.
That's right.
But we're in the middle of this really interesting cultural sea change where it's about darn time we're finally getting some equality and stuff in there. But the thing is that's thrown traditional gender roles into disarray.
Right.
And those served a purpose. They let us know what to expect out of each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And now we don't know what to expect out of each other.
Exactly. I am there with you 100%. I hate not knowing what is expected of me. And so my struggle part of it too is if I were to date a Hispanic guy, yes, I would know exactly what to expect. However, then I have to account for the whole machismo thing. And then I'm not putting up with that. I've told my parents, I'm like, I love y'all and I love being Salvadorian, but knock on wood, I am not marrying a Salvadorian because I'm not putting up with it. I'm not. We could be 1/16th cousin related somehow. No, it's not going to happen. So
it makes dating this really fun and interesting minefield because I get women that expect me to be the alpha male. We expect you to buy dinner and do everything and do all the things and plan all the things, and I'm just going to go along for the ride. And then you get those women that are like, no, don't pay for my deal.
Yeah.
I'll pay for your meal.
I am a planner. I'll plan it, but then you got to pay for it.
And I mean, the solution to that problem is easy and hard. It's communicating with each other.
Yes.
It's actually talking about what we expect and what we don't expect, but trying to find a way to jam that in. On the first date, do you say, which things do you feel like you're responsible for, and which do you think I'm responsible for?
Zorric would.
I would clarify that in a heartbeat. Should I open your door or not?
I'm not clear on the protocol here. So could you just tell me which bill I'm supposed to pay and which door I'm supposed to open and where I'm supposed to just be quiet?
Yeah. And we talk about this too, Emma, that women are getting married later.
Yes, we are.
They're focusing on their career, so they're,
Can you come tell my mom this? Can you remind her of this crowd? Because I had it over the weekend.
Yeah, and they're more independent now. I mean, the salaries there's not much of a gap or any gap anymore. But my point is, it's confusing. Okay?
It is confusing.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, if you were born in the 50s, right, that would have been your prime time, Zorric. And I think I romanticize it too, huh?
Yeah, that was off air, right?
Yeah, that was off air. Yeah, that was off air. And I romanticize the 50s too, and it goes back because those roles were defined. We knew what to expect. We don't anymore, which it just makes it so much more confusing. Why is it so hard?
Well, and I look at things like the divorce rate and stuff and my own experience of going through divorce.
Yeah, it's 50.
I hate to say it. I don't want to throw anything disparaging at our parents and our elder generation, but I don't think they did a great job of teaching us how to talk to each other.
No, they didn't.
No.
And I mean, I personally, I can say with 100% certainty that in my failed marriage, I was at least half, if not more, than half of
Yeah.
the mistakes that happen. And it's because I didn't know how to deal with my own feelings and stuff about
Right.
things. I sound enlightened now. I'm really not. I'm an 8-year-old kid in a 38-year-old body.
We're all like that.
I mean, also our parents and grandparents to this day, like they're very like grin and bear it generation. Like you just grin and you bear it. Like if you're upset, you handle it internally, right? You don't let other people know unless,
Son,
like,
you do
you
not
have
let
to.
those feelings show.
Right.
You bury that stuff. Get that tear back in there.
yes,
Yeah.
unless someone has died, then you're allowed.
You know, and that's the fun thing I'm learning both in improv and in relationships is you can't hold all that emotion in there.
What?
It builds up.
No way. Emotion builds inside of all of us.
Oh, my
This
goodness.
therapist / counselor didn't know that at all.
Is this going to be like a show now for Emma? She's going to like lecture us about feelings.
You know, if she wants to, I'm gonna let her go on with it. You know, it's
Yeah.
tough
Yes.
love.
Can I keep Josh?
It's
Can I
hard
keep
pills to
Josh?
swallow.
Can we kick you out? Can I keep him instead? Okay.
Anytime.
I hate you.
So Josh, so you know a lot, it seems like, about relationships, and that's might be why you write articles
Oh my
goodness.
gosh.
A writer?
Yes.
We're getting into this. That's scary.
on the medium. So my
Yes,
question
yes.
is, did you write as a child? Were you the writer in
Not
your room?
Not really.
No.
Like, okay, so
Were you writing poetry in your little journal?
I mean, don't laugh too much. I do have a Mesquite Independent School District Poetry Award from my senior year of high school for a
There
poem
you
I
go.
wrote about a stuffed animal I've had since I was like 5. But not that I've displayed this quality very much yet, but I'm a little bit ADD. And so I do a little bit of everything. I draw, I write code, I write prose, I'm very driven by figuring out how stuff works.
Yeah.
It's a large part of my job, but it's also a large part of just who I am. Like I'm that kid that played with Legos as a kid and like pulled all this stuff apart and figured out how all the pieces work together and put it all back together. And now I just do it with
followed the
human beings.
manual.
I followed the manual one time and then I started building whatever stuff I wanted.
Oh no, I followed the manual.
But yeah, I am very driven by like how do all the pieces work together. And so like a lot of the writing like you're talking about
Yeah.
is me trying to pick apart the Rube Goldberg device that is dating. Please tell me y'all know what a Rube Goldberg
Nope.
device. I made
We
a totally
do.
dated reference. How many of you guys have seen The Goonies?
We have.
I have.
You know the machine that they have to open the gate? Where he lifts up the flower pot and the bowling ball goes down and it falls
Yes.
down. That is a Rube Goldberg device.
Oh, okay.
Wait, do you think Echo? What is a Rube Goldberg device?
I'm not sure.
She doesn't even know. Or maybe
Oh my
I
goodness.
didn't pronounce it right.
It is named after a cartoonist named Rube Goldberg who used to draw these crazy devices to do really mundane things.
I thought that was just like a maze.
Not
Kind
far
of.
off.
Yeah.
I would say that systems of people, groups of people, are Rube Goldberg devices.
Ooh,
If
I
you
like that. I'm gonna take that.
Feel free to.
Yeah, I think you're talking about understanding relationships with your article, classifying relationships.
Yes.
Because it is hard to classify things today. Like, are we dating? Are we exclusive? Are we boyfriend, girlfriend? Like, what did you write? Like, so let the audience know, like, what the point of the article was.
So there were two things, and actually one of them has just come up in like the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna ask you guys since I got you
Ooh,
sitting here.
okay.
Okay, I'm gonna flip the script and ask you questions.
Oh my gosh.
What does it mean? What expectations come with boyfriend, girlfriend?
Emma,
Like,
go
if
first.
I told you this is my girlfriend, what does that tell you about our relationship, and what expectations do you have about the way the two of us are?
So definitely like exclusivity. So like you two are just seeing each other, but in a balanced way. So I'm a big believer, like just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you get to just spend time with your boyfriend or girlfriend, right? Like you also need to balance out your friends. So spending time, balanced time with that person, maybe like 2 to 3 dates. If we were looking at actual like actions, then like spending time with each other at each other's places. I think also like text messaging nowadays, right? Or calling each other on the phone.
Are you off dating apps, Emma, at this point?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just clarifying.
Why?
You're not dating anybody else.
No.
Just
You're
just
off
a man.
date. Oh, I thought you were asking me if I personally was off dating apps, and I'm like, yeah, why? Why are you bringing that up now? Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yes, you're off dating apps.
You are. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should be off dating apps. You better actually go in there, delete that profile, and then log out. People forget that delete profile step.
Yeah.
I also think at that point you're probably like have met each other's friends or like and are starting to meet each other's families if you haven't yet. Okay. Because I'm not bringing guys around until it's exclusive for me. But you would have met my sister before it became exclusive because she needs to give me the approval.
So I originally wrote this article because I was trying to understand something. The question that's been baking in the back of my mind is, what separates your best friend from your significant other?
Making out.
What makes them more significant? Really?
Sex.
Okay. Friends with benefits, where does that fit into all of this?
Yeah, that's true.
Because that really muddies the waters.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but being exclusive for me is like the big thing. Like,
Wait,
really,
is that
truly
different?
being exclusive.
Is that different than because I know you make that distinction, Josh, in your article, exclusivity and being a boyfriend and girlfriend status.
They're not. So you don't think that they're mutual? At least I don't remember reading this.
I'm not sure, and I'm
Okay.
not. I didn't set out to answer any questions there.
Okay.
I just kind of dumped what I think and what I know. But I'm the first to say about any statement that I say that it's based on the information that I know right now. And if somebody gives me a compelling argument to change it, I am more than happy to change my mind.
So I would say that like in a typical relationship, this is excluding open relationships, right? So if you're a boyfriend and girlfriend, boyfriend, and you're in an open relationship, this does not apply to you.
Right.
So, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Zorric is staring intently. He's waiting for this.
So for me, like, yes, like being exclusive is mutual with being boyfriend and girlfriend if you're not in that open relationship.
Yeah.
But you have to have that conversation with that person, no matter how awkward it is, and say, hey, I want to be your girlfriend and not date anyone else.
Yeah, because some people just date one person at a time, and so sometimes they consider that, as Josh raised his hand,
Yes.
as being
I'm very studious.
as being exclusive, and then sometimes people are just dating, whereas that means you're dating multiple people.
Right, because you're not an exclusive dater.
I am never comfortable with dating more than one person. I tried. It was not my...
getting the noise now.
Because you're telling all my secrets.
Because Emma makes a point.
So
You call me out all the time.
Okay.
Like, don't even.
You have to look at this, though.
Don't.
Zorric is calling you out with love.
It's a high five.
It's an audio high five.
Anyway, so Josh, you're saying you don't date multiple people, like as
I tried. I don't feel good about it. Like
Yeah.
I am so all over the place with everything else in my life. I'd like to just be focused in this at least one area.
So
of my
if you
life.
were a Sex and the City character, you would be Miranda.
I didn't.
No,
watch
you'd
Sex
be
and the
Miss
City.
Charlotte. You'd be Charlotte.
Can you give me like Firefly references or something? That might be more my speed.
No, I never saw Firefly.
Okay, that makes me sad.
so exclusive dater,
Yeah.
basically. So you couldn't kiss like 4 people at once, or you couldn't date 4 people at once.
I would feel really weird about that.
Yeah, you couldn't have sex with 4 people at once.
I wouldn't do that. So this is where you get my own personal beliefs. I don't know that I would do that. And
Yeah.
It's not like I have any religious belief or anything that's holding me back from that. It's really just more of a safety. And I don't know. I kind of prefer that emotional connection.
It's part of your values, and it's okay to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Do you kiss on the first date? I want to know.
Like
And for Emma.
if the mood struck me, I would. I did not on the last first date that I went on. But
Second
I
date.
did on the second date.
Second date, yeah. Well, 50% kiss on the first.
And that
the
was
rest-
after like a good hour of hiking before I finally got the nerves.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
wow.
You went hiking on a date. Ugh.
We did in an 100 degree weather.
Oh, my gosh.
And she wanted to kiss you?
Oh my
After
goodness!
that,
Yes.
that's a good thing. That's a good thing because some women are like, I'm dirty, I'm sweaty, I don't want to.
That would be me.
Yeah.
First of all, I
mean,
probably
Emma.
wouldn't even have hiked in that 104-degree weather. I would have been like, no, we can hike inside.
Yeah.
The I'm sweaty and all that would have been enough to go, okay, we're not matched.
Yeah, true
Good
that.
meeting you.
True that. So with the person you're dating and going on hiking and doing all this,
Right.
like, do you use the improv, or how has that helped you with dating?
Oh, so
I like how it always comes back to improv.
isn't it great?
Yeah.
Well, so improv really rests on relationships. Relationships and support, I think, are kind of two of the main pillars of
Well,
improv.
one thing too is listening, which is hard for me sometimes.
Me too.
Yeah.
What?
ADD.
Listening to you is difficult, Zorric? I would have never known.
To anybody, okay?
I'm going to jump in and defend him because it's really hard for me too. I had this conversation with my teacher the other night where I'm like, I just realized this weekend I had a series of really deep conversations with a girl that I was dating. And I kind of had this epiphany of the same problems that I have on stage are the same problems that I have in relationships.
Okay.
And it was really like freaky, weird, like...
Start with the onstage issues. What are the onstage issues?
I have a difficult time divorcing myself of my preconceived notions of what's going to happen. Again, not that I've displayed
Are
this
you a
quality.
planner?
I am a plan A through Q kind of person.
That's why. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the tech in you.
And yeah, I'm a software developer. I do test automation, but I am a lead. So I am an architecture person. So my job is to look at what's coming down the line and start planning the overall architecture of how that needs to work, and what all the pieces are, and what order they need to be done in. So I'm very good at looking at a situation and planning like 14 different ways the situation can go. And in
Jeez.
improv, that so works against you.
So you're like Doctor Strange when he looks into the future.
Not that far off, yeah. I've looked through 10,000 different ways this comes out, and only one of them we release the product on time.
Exactly.
No, I did. Like, it's my problem on stage is I think ahead. And so you get out into a scene, you do your initiation, somebody responds, you have an idea of where you are and who you are that you haven't named, and then somebody names something that's completely off your radar. And all of a sudden you're deer in the headlights, standing in front of a crowd of people, trying to figure out what to say. In relationships, if you want the parallel, is, we're on date number 6, and I'm already thinking through like the next 2 years of what's going to happen.
Like, are you like, what are we? Are you kind of thinking about that in those terms too?
What are we and what will we be?
Yeah, what are we
Yeah.
anyways? Just all, the progression of what happens when you
Exactly. So one of the epiphanies I had about the whole girlfriend-boyfriend thing is they're really just external labels to tell other people outside of the two of us what the parameters of our relationship are. Like, I had this conversation because I had brought up what do you feel about being boyfriend and girlfriend? And this person's like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm ready for that yet, which is, that's a totally legit way to approach the conversation. But
Are you taking notes, Zorric?
But the question that she asked me back is, what does that mean to you? And I could not mount an answer. Like, that needed some real thought.
Yeah.
And the more I get to thinking about it, the more I'm like, I don't want to change anything about the dynamic of the way our relationship is working. But I want to have this label so that other people know who we are. Like, if she comes to a show with me, do I introduce her as my friend?
I'm going to challenge you a little bit. I think that
please.
part of it too is like there's security in that label for you too. And so putting that label on there also allows you to feel safe in what the relationship is.
And that security is an illusion.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to stop that person from walking out tomorrow.
Right. However, if you know that the relationship is strong, then there's no reason to doubt.
That's
Bam,
Truth.
therapy.
But then why do you need the label?
Waiting for an answer.
If the relationship
think about
works, no, it's.
I need a drink. Dang it.
I have been trying to think of the same thing for more than a week, and I
Yeah.
totally feel you on that. But this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm.
Why we
thinking
need the
about.
label, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because we label everything. Our brain naturally categorizes everything. And so it's not fair to our beautiful brain to have this thing not be categorized.
Exactly. No, it must
Yeah.
fit in a box. I don't have a
Exactly.
box for this thing that I'm holding in my hands. What box does it go in?
Right. And so our brain wants to create a box for it.
It's my problem with the whole friends with benefits thing. Are you a friend? Are you a girlfriend? I don't get this. You don't fit in a box here.
No, that's why it's tough, and that's why I broke my last friends with benefit relationship off.
Yeah, it's rough. But I think also the reason why we want labels is because it kind of protects our feelings. Because
Yes.
I feel this for Emma, I feel this for Josh, but there's no label, and now I feel uneasy about it, and I'd rather have a label than.
One of the things that came back to is the insecurity of, is this person still going to be here in a week? Am I wasting my time not dating other people because I'm waiting for this person to be ready for that label?
Yeah. But on that note, you're talking about the guy or gal can go away at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You wrote a piece about, but you're a great guy. What was that about? Let's let the audience
Oh my
know.
goodness. This is roll back the clock about a year. I matched with a girl on, so I've used Tinder, I've used Bumble, and I've used OkCupid. I've used them all about equal amounts of time. I have my own thoughts on each of the three of them, but
We can talk about it later.
I matched with a girl. We started having a conversation. We had made a plan to meet up. Like, banter's going back and forth really well. We'd made a plan to meet up, and so I moved my schedule around to make it work. And I was all excited. And then like an hour later, she messaged me, and she's like, "Yeah, I was looking a little more, and I think you're just gonna end up being friends with you. You're a great guy, but I don't want to meet up with you."
Is it the but that changes it?
Yeah.
So I think but in that context, there's the 8-year-old in me that went but. But in that context is like thing, but not thing. I'm gonna invalidate.
You're really smart, but you failed a test.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to invalidate everything I just said with one word and then tell you the exact opposite. It's bait and switch.
What's so funny is that in grad school, so I was reading this and I was cracking up because in grad school, when I was learning how to be a therapist officially, right? We are told to not use but. Crap, Zorric!
I need to bring you like some stress balls or something you can throw at him when he does that.
Okay, give me.
I'm going to arm her,
ruined the
Zorric.
It
moment.
was a sexy
What is
moment.
wrong with you? How is that a sexy moment?
I was tooting your horn. Okay.
So you were saying you learned not to use but.
No buts.
Right, we're not allowed to use but. And so that was the example that was given is, it basically negates everything in the first piece is negated. And so, yes, that is very true.
So I wrote about it. The problem that I have with that statement, but you're a great guy, I don't want to see you, but you're a great guy, is
Right.
like, it's this cognitive dissonance between you're telling me something that's supposed to bring me up, but at the same time, it doesn't explain the first half of that sentence.
Right. So would it be better if it was like, I don't want to date and I think you're a really great guy?
That could be okay. Or just leave out the, but you're a really great guy.
Right.
Because that, honestly, that doesn't tell me anything about why I'm being rejected. It doesn't help me at all.
Didn't you mention in this article that it was like, it could be kind of like a cushion for this other person trying to like make you feel better, but in reality it doesn't. Like it's more like for them to feel better about saying it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like a backhanded compliment too.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I got into this like huge Twitter discussion though, because I follow a couple of other like single female daters and stuff like that. And the conversation that ensued, like Twitter was blowing up my phone every 5 seconds with another response. And some girls were like, can I just be freaking nice? I mean, what the heck? And there are other guys that are like, yeah, you think you're being nice, but you're really not being all that nice.
Right.
It's not being received that way. Just because you mean it doesn't mean that's how it's being received.
But it's better than the usual ghost.
Oh God, yes.
Right?
Right.
Let's give her that.
But at the
How
same
about-
time, just say,
I don't want to date you. I just don't see anything happening.
yeah. I mean, I would say if you can give the other person like a real reason, that's even better. Like if you can say, hey, I saw this thing about you and it's just not my thing. Maybe that's something I can do something about. Maybe it isn't, but at least I know.
Yeah.
I'm mature enough to know that I'm not owed anything like that. So the simple, short, I don't want to date you is fine.
Yeah.
The ghost is kind of a chicken crap way out of the situation.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I think that is you being, what are you? You're an X-Gen? You're a Generation X?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's you being a Generation X person versus me being this beautiful, fragile millennial.
Which, by the way, Eliza Schlesinger, Elder Millennial.
Did you watch it?
Oh, of course I did.
Ah, yes.
It was so great.
Yes. She speaks truth.
Yes.
It is true. That is me, Trader Joe's, Sunday night.
Nice.
I had my problem with that. So the other article you're probably going to pull up is the one that I wrote for Lisa Poliak, which was the 404 relationship not found.
Oh my gosh.
I
At
came up with
first,
that title.
I was like,
I didn't read it because I thought I'm an IT guy. It said 404 not found. So I'm
yes.
next to that.
Yes.
I mean,
no, it took me a while to, and then I saw the title of it and I was like, why would Zorric send me this like messed up page? Like, I'm not in tech. I know that though, because I am a millennial. I am tech savvy. Thank you very much. And I was like, what the crap is going on? And then I could like saw that the scroll, like I could keep scrolling and I was like, is this going to be like a porno site? Like, I don't want to get into it. But curiosity still like got me. And so I scrolled and I realized, oh, that's the title of the article.
okay.
I love this story.
Since I didn't read it.
Okay, hold on a minute. I love this story. So Lisa Poliak is a writer and a blogger, and she has this really great blog about her experiences of dating and sex and stuff like that. And she's written a book about it. And she had written a post on Medium, and I apologize for the language. I'm going to quote the title directly.
It's okay.
You want to get rid of him fucking fast was the name of the article.
Oh my.
Really?
And it was about how, once guys like have sex with you, they're gone. They're in the wind.
It depends how good it is, though. It depends.
Is it?
So
It
I
depends.
read this article from her and I write this lengthy, like 1-page post. And I'm like, here's 4 reasons why I think culturally this phenomenon exists. And I get back a tweet from her the next day and she's like, this is the most brilliant, like thoughtful reply I've ever gotten from a man. And I, in that moment, knew how women felt when they say, you're really smart for a girl.
Thank you.
And so she invited me to write a guest post. And so I had written about, I had this experience of I dated with a person where...
Wait, hold on. Before you go what were the 4 reasons you said you gave her?
Oh, my goodness.
The Cliff Notes version.
Stand by while we wait.
Stall for me for like half a second.
So Emma...
All right, Zorric.
So if... Usually I stick around for a little bit. It has
Stick around for a little bit.
It has nothing to do with the sex, though. It has everything to do with everything else. The sex is usually good.
You are someone that loves to love. You love falling in love.
Yeah. It's very...
Do you know who you are?
Who am I?
Okay, do you remember the store owner from Downton Abbey that came and was trying to get Miss Patmore married so that, like, she would cook for him, and he was like, I just love. Do you remember him?
I don't remember him.
Okay, you're going to have to watch it again then.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that theory.
The theory of what?
Of the whole sex thing.
Oh.
Yeah. The have sex with him and then he'll be gone after that.
I think it's more like, don't have sex with him, and then he will definitely be gone.
that is true. Obviously, since we're all celibate here, I mean, you know.
And do we have a cricket noise somewhere?
The cricket
Do we?
noise.
Because I don't know how true that statement is.
Are you looking
I think
at
that
me?
needs a butt somewhere.
Yeah. But anyways, I think that's a pretty good analogy because it can go both ways.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know what you think, but if
I don't know.
since I'm not celibate, obviously, I would.
That is brand new information to me.
I would. No one knows this, except for everyone listening. But yeah, so
Yes.
we get a lot of our information from the Medium, which is kind of cool because Josh is here
From the medium.
from the Medium.
Yeah, I'm from the Medium.
He is the Medium, and he's not the one that tells fortunes either. He's the actual.
Yes, we will all sit here in a seance. I will read everybody's poems.
Oh my gosh. I would love. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Because I don't want to get caught up with no ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I am totally going to have to find this.
Yes.
It's okay.
We'll post it.
Yeah, we'll post it somewhere.
Yeah.
I will have to find it, but yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about what you did right
Yes.
on 404.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
404 was all about I had a relationship with a person where on their side it was completely platonic and on my side it was completely completely romantic. And like they had no problem just enjoying the platonic side of things without really reinforcing that, hey, you might be in this more than I am kind of thing.
Well, that's a little shady of that person.
I don't think they were doing it on purpose.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think they realized what was going on, and I don't think I did the best job of communicating things on my side, so I will lay half the blame on my side at the very least.
So you take ownership.
But
Got
it was the whole like when somebody tells you that you lay it on, you do the DTR, right? You sit down, you're
Define
like,
it.
define the relationship. What are we? You know, are we dating? Are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Are we just friends? You know, and she's like, I'm not really dating right now.
Okay.
And the problem that I have with that is that it goes in one of two directions. Either A, they're telling the truth completely and they're just not ready to date right now. In which case, what the hell were you doing on a dating site? What the hell were you doing on Tinder or Bumble or whatever?
Companionship.
Yes, but we can get into a whole worms can of what that means.
Yep.
But, it's the what were you doing there? I feel like I was led on. Why couldn't you say this in the beginning? Or the other, which is they're trying to let you down without letting you down. They're backburnering
Right.
you.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to date right now, which means I'm not ready to date you.
That's in
And-
that article in the that book.
That he's just not that into
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
So a month later, like I'm still friends with this person and they tell me about this boyfriend that they have. And we've been
Yep.
talking like every day for a
Yep.
month and
Yeah.
they've never mentioned it. And all of a sudden they're complaining about this boyfriend who cheated on them and whatever. And it's
So-
like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So it was basically like, I have someone else and you and I are just friends.
In which
Sad
case,
story.
don't say, I'm not
I'm
really
not
looking to
really
date right.
relationship.
Just say, we're just friends.
Did you pay for the dates and all that? Oh my god.
Because
Dang.
again, I was raised
Southern
on traditional
gentleman.
corn-fed values.
Yeah.
Did
Did anything happen? Like,
No.
I'm taking.
Zorric! God.
I'm just asking, okay, man to man. I'm just asking.
The most that ever happened was I gave her a kiss and I asked permission before I did it.
Oh,
Oh, that's beautiful.
what a gentleman. Okay, we like that. We
Do
like
you
that.
ask for permission? No. Okay.
Okay. So Josh knows everything in
Oh,
dating.
God.
It seems like
Knows
he's
everything
scary.
about everything.
He's also Mr. General Nerd. So
He is.
If I knew that, I would probably have a girlfriend.
and we would be taken
his
too.
only weakness is dating and relationships.
But he does know everything.
He knows everything else except dating and relationships.
Yeah. So
It's one of those like, would you rather know everything and suck at dating and relationships, or be an expert at relationships and know nothing?
that's a hard one.
I have a better would you rather that I hit the other week.
What?
Would you rather live in a universe of kissing but no sex, or sex but no kissing?
Kissing, no sex.
Sex, of course. Oh my gosh. You too. You too.
There's more. It's more. Kissing is
For
more
the
passionate
record,
than
it is.
sex.
For the record, Emma and I fist bumped.
Yes.
We did.
I did see that.
But like, I'm really excited to have a sex therapy soon. Like, she is coming
We are.
soon. So yeah.
I'm excited too. Okay.
All right.
So we have a topic called, or an article called "What You Instantly and Unintentionally Reveal About Yourself,"
Yep.
written in Emma's favorite place, Psychology.
PsychologyToday.com.
Today, first impressions are pivotal. Find out what you immediately reveal to others, and the gist of the article.
This is by Madeline A. Fugere. Fugere.
Fugere.
Yes, brilliant.
Yeah, sure.
It talks about different things that we kind of judge. Like the first is physical attractiveness.
Right. Like, do you look at me and think I'm pretty?
Emma, how long does it take for you when you see a guy, first date? How long does it take?
First
for you?
look.
First look. Josh, how long does it take? for you?
0.0235 seconds.
Wow. This article says it takes 100 milliseconds. Fewer
1/10
than.
of a second.
I'm a little slow, sorry.
That is freaking quick. So,
Yeah.
so what I got out of this is
How
that
quickly do we see, though? Is it 1/10 of a second? Like, what is an eye glance?
we blink 300. It takes 300 milliseconds for us to blink. That's what I found out.
I don't know. This is too much math for me.
A lot
at
of
this
math,
point.
but it tells you that Tinder and Bumble are perfect.
Yes.
Because you see a photo and you swipe right, you swipe left, you swipe right, and it may have
The
its issues.
ex-Jenner,
But
the ex-Jenner disagrees.
but on the
with
visual
the elder
side,
millennial.
Gen Xer.
Gen Xer.
Xer disagrees with the elder
I'm on
millennial.
your side now.
I know, but this is fun. I like messing with you.
You're on the border. You have like dual citizenship of both sides.
No, just make him an elder millennial on purpose.
I do. But it takes you 100 milliseconds. So does that mean like they're looking at your face or they're looking at someone's butt?
I mean, I have my thoughts on this one. I mean, I have written down next to this paragraph, duh.
Yeah.
Because I think we all do that. I think it's different for each person. Like, I know personally, I'm attracted to nice eyes and a nice smile. Like, that'll draw me in faster than anything else will. There's something about the way somebody moves, too, that just clicks with me.
I like a nice smile. I like nice teeth.
Yeah, definitely. And
I think I've said that before too.
you have. I think we all three like the same things, but
Yeah.
there's a thing called the halo effect, which
Yes.
means that when someone's like attractive,
Yeah.
we also associate positive qualities with them,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So have you not heard of this like crazy study that was done a long time ago? And like people still do it like they replicate it to this day. So it's basically like more attractive, physically attractive people will go like request something, and then a lesser attractive person will go do the same thing. And the more physical or what we deem more physically attractive gets better service than the person who is less physically attractive.
It depends who's doing it. Is it a dude, a horny dude?
They do both women and men.
It goes both ways. No,
It's both women and men.
I
and
know
yes.
the study.
So, like, if you're prettier or more handsomer, you're gonna get more service.
Yeah.
Better. You're gonna get better service.
And it sucks because, you're born with what you're born with, right?
Right. Which is why, like, you smile at people, you're polite to them, you act stupid sometimes, and it works out for you.
Yeah. Me? You.
Me.
That's why you have to work on cultivating kind eyes.
Explain.
Is that like a Tyra Banks thing?
No, I mean it's not like smize. It's not like smile.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
you have to. Honestly, it's more than just appearance. It's body language and stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've read. There's a great book called "You Say More Than You Think," which is about body language, but
Ooh.
not body language in the traditional sense of if somebody strikes this pose, it means they're powerful.
Right.
It's body language as in look for shifts in body language. You have to norm a person's behavior. You have to understand how they normally behave, and then look for variations off that behavior to read them. I think so. One thing I know, I'm a test automation engineer. That means I write software that tests software. Let me give you a really simple scenario. I need to write a piece of software that's going to click File, Save, find the file save dialog, type in the path, and click Save, right? That's really hard to tell a computer how to do it. How hard is it for you guys to do it?
I go to File, Save
It's like-
As, and then the window pops up, and I just type in the name, and
If
then
an-
I hit Save.
If an unexpected thing pops up, hey, we noticed your document's in the old format. Would you like to try the new format? You know how to handle that.
Right.
My automation code, I have to tell it how to do everything. One thing I've learned is that humans are really, really, really good pattern recognition.
Yeah, we like.
Yeah.
Because we like habits. We're creatures of habits. Because
Hey.
of our brains.
Guess what attractiveness evaluation is? It's pattern recognition.
Oh, bam! We just got school.
You're looking at patterns of a person's appearance, their body language, their movement, the way they carry themselves, and you're making a snap decision off of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which is why people say like first impressions matter.
It does. It does. And also on top of that, you can judge somebody's personality within also 100 milliseconds.
Oh,
Right? And it also talks about how you can judge that even if you're not present. You can look at someone's apartment or house, bedroom, and tell. You can tell.
Oh yeah,
whether or not
my
they're-
like biggest pet peeve is going to a guy's house using the toilet and then seeing like the bottom of the toilet, like where the rings are, is not cleaned. I
Hey.
think that's so gross. Your toilet is perfectly cleaned, Zorric, so thank you. I think you also have a maid coming in.
So here's the thing that I've learned by doing software development though. Software doesn't notice things. It only looks for exactly what you tell it to look for. And I think human beings aren't much different. You look for the things that you look for, but you don't always see the full picture because you overlook lots of other things. I think it's what you would call scope blind. You're so busy looking down the scope of your sniper rifle that you don't see the things in the periphery.
Yeah.
I'm always worried about snap judgments like what this article is talking about because I don't know that you're always looking at the full picture. And so you could be getting a picture of this person that's completely different than what they really are.
This is the epitome of snap judgments. And we're talking about milliseconds here. And
But this is like, but that's like, I think the point of this article too is that this is how quickly we do it without like knowing that we're doing it.
So the other half of that body language book that's really interesting, you say more than you think, is it's about recognizing your own body language and making changes so that you can make sure that you're giving off. So one of the examples is what they call the belly button rule. Where your belly button is pointing to indicates your interest. So Emma, if I'm talking to you like this, I'm not interested in you. I'm interested in getting out of this place.
Oh.
why is your belly button not pointed at me, Emma? It's pointing at Josh.
It is, because he's our guest. And I may or may not be a little bit attracted to him.
But look at it this way. It's not pointed at the door.
Yes.
She's not looking for the quickest exit.
Yes,
That
true
is
that.
true. It's pointing at you now, jerk.
Okay, thank you.
Gosh. Why are you so...
Okay. You're going to have to let us know what
I don't know why I hate that
I
song
will
so
I will
much,
send you
thank
the
you.
link. It is a great book.
Yes, please.
I got you. So, but that's interesting to me that you can tell somebody's personality by not even looking or talking to them. Literally snap judgment, and you can tell.
I mean, what's that they say that 90% of communication is nonverbal?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like when you're on a date with somebody. One thing that I was talking to the person I'm dating with this weekend is I think eye contact, like sustained eye contact, is more intimate than a lot of other things that you can do.
Yes,
But you're
I
probably-
agree. It's
he's-
also like very cultural though, but however, like, yes.
You're probably an INTJ or...
No, E.
Oh, he's an E. Or...
I am what they call painfully extroverted.
Oh.
I work from home 2 days a week. I work from Starbucks because if I work from my home alone by myself, I will eat everything in the apartment and crawl the walls.
Are you quality time?
No, physical touch.
Physical touch.
We're like,
By like a high margin
I
too.
feel like-
And then words of
100.
affirmation is after
I
that.
feel like
Yeah.
Josh and I are like soulmates at like a psychology test level right now.
I am all about like the cuddling on the couch
Yes.
and watching a movie or holding hands while we're walking through a museum or something.
Like, I don't have to be in a relationship with people, but I just like it when people like just graze my shoulder, like my friends in my like come hang out in my office and they'll play with my hair and I'm just like, oh.
Have you ever looked at the 5 love languages, but in the context of like work
Yes.
and things like that? Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're a physical touch type person, then you're the type of person that wants your boss to come up and like pat you on the back and say, you did a good job today.
My boss will hug me on occasion. She'll ask, can I hug you? And I'm like, yes.
My boss will high five me like he is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm that kind of person. And second is words of affirmation. So I like getting
Me
that.
too. And then it's gifts. But I also I like opening the presents.
Gifts is way down.
Yeah,
on
no,
mine,
I'm a
unfortunately.
girl. I like opening presents. That's why I order off Amazon.
It's quality time after that, and then I think acts of service, and yeah.
It's
Gotcha.
quality time, acts of service, gifts. They're tied to second place.
But yes, I'm super extroverted.
Okay.
I like people.
Okay. Because the eye contact thing I got from the quality time. And most INTJs are like that too. So, sexual orientation, Josh.
I'm
how long
straight.
does it take for you to tell?
I have like the worst radar for that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Emma?
I'm in the gayborhood, I'm probably gonna hit on gay men.
Yeah.
Because I don't care.
Yeah, but we had a discussion about this with Lisa, our friend, Josh.
Yes.
And Emma. And how to tell if somebody is straight, gay, lesbian. Like, how do you tell?
I know she's debunked the myth about gaydar,
Mm-hmm.
but if it's real, I don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's one of those things that if you're interested, say something. If they say, I'm sorry, I'm you're just not my type. That's fine.
Right, which is why I will always buy a drink when I'm in the neighborhood and I get hit on.
Yeah.
I will always buy them a drink. Thank you so much for giving me a compliment. Here is a drink. Let's be friends forever instead.
Well, and you know this from being like in the theater community and the improv community. Like, there's a lot of LGBT people, and they are awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
So I at the end of the day, honestly, I don't know that it matters. If you find somebody interesting, say something. If you're not their type, you're not their type. It's all right.
Right, just like have a friendship or a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and so the article says it takes 50 milliseconds for to judge a man's sexual orientation, and 40 for a woman's sexual orientation. That's quick. And
That feels stereotypical.
yeah.
I mean, it just does.
I don't know. If you take me to the neighborhood, I can't find out who's straight or gay or lesbian.
I have known like gay men that I would not have been able to pick out as gay unless
Right.
they were standing there holding their partner's hand.
Maybe she's a little biased. However, it does look like she's a little bit like, it looks like she's peer reviewed or whatever it's called back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And she may be exactly right. So the other problem that I have just in general with this article is, okay, yeah, we may subconsciously notice all these things, but let's be honest, we all ignore our subconscious. We don't go with our gut. We rationalize everything. We're really good at that.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
The therapist in me is coming out like, sometimes we do that, sometimes we don't.
I just want to note.
I think it really it depends on like how it's going to benefit us.
I want to note for the record that when she said some of us, she looked very pointedly at Zorric.
Oh gosh. Go ahead, Emma.
What's the last one, Zorric?
Oh, the last one. I was gonna do something.
Sociosexuality.
So Josh, I love that beard.
Oh my
It looks
gosh.
so.
Why, thank you.
It looks so sexy. Do you have a drink? I feel like your drink is empty. Would you like me to buy you a drink?
I've got my water here. Thank you.
Well,
I'm sorry.
he doesn't want to have sex with me, Emma. He doesn't. And this is the last one. Supposedly, you can tell if somebody wants to have sex with you by the way they're doing different things, like their eyebrows and the way their body language again.
I think I missed that software patch.
Yeah, I think I'm missing this one too.
Because, like it says here, behaviors such as eyebrow flashing and glances allowed observers to detect women's comfort with casual sex. Obviously, Josh is as a man. He's a man. But
Are you less than a man, Zorric?
I
Is
am.
like Josh a man's man and
I'm
you're
like-
just like a man?
I'm like a 0.5 man.
Honestly, though, like when it comes down to it, like casual sex and stuff like that, I've never been one for that. I like that emotional connection.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes it worth it.
Yeah, I struggled with this one too because I'm going to read it. It says, interestingly, women may also be able to quickly evaluate whether men are likely to be faithful or unfaithful to their partners. And I'm like, no, I kind
How?
of can't. Like, I mean, if he's a complete D-bag, yes. Other than that, no. But then he could also be a D-bag that's loyal and just like outwardly is a D-bag. I don't know.
It says more masculine features. Does that...
Okay, humans are complex bags of neuroses. No.
There's no way we need to read this in detail. This whatever they did.
I thought we did. Oh,
No,
yeah,
like
right.
the actual case study or the test they did. Because all of this stuff, you know what? It seems so easy, but this is what makes dating hard.
Right. I do like how at the end she has it in italicized, and it states, a wealth of information is accessible to observers within the first few moments of observation. Knowing about this research may make you more aware of what information others will know about you or what information you can quickly and accurately discern about others.
So let me summarize that a little bit more. So the whole book, You Say More Than You Think. The reason it's titled the way that it is because your body language says more than what you may actually intend to put off. And I would say that applies to your entire appearance. How you carry yourself, the place that you live, the place that you work and everything says a little something about you. And I don't know that I would want to tell anyone to go to the trouble of manicuring all of that stuff, because there's a point where it starts to feel fake.
Right.
And we're all really good at recognizing when a pattern is too perfect and not trusting that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you may also want to be kind of aware. Like, I'm the kind of person, I wear blue jeans and t-shirt everywhere. I wore a button-up shirt to dress up for you guys.
Aw, thanks.
But this is dressed
That's
up
cute.
for me. I am a software developer. I would live in a darkened cave and wear jeans and t-shirts and be fine with coffee.
Are
for
you
rest
the
of my life.
dude, the comic book store dude from The Simpsons that barely comes out to daylight unless he has to?
I find that very, very unflattering, and I will take my leave of you. I mean, I am a comic book nerd, but I don't know that I fit like that stereotype per se.
I'm
I don't know.
teasing.
Maybe I do. I would wear, like, I have a Firefly t-shirt. I have video game t-shirts.
What is Firefly? You keep talking about that, and I don't know who it is.
It's a TV show.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
Western mixed with a sci-fi. It is brilliant.
Is it Jason Bateman?
No. Joss Whedon wrote it. Nathan Fillion stars in it.
Yes. Okay.
And yeah, Captain Tight Pants. Yep.
Cool.
Captain Tight Pants.
Captain Tight Pants. No. So I had a woman in a coffee shop. I go to Murray Street Coffee every Saturday morning before practice. And I had one of the baristas clock me on, you and your friend are always wearing either a video game or comic book or science fiction themed t-shirt when you come in here on Saturday. She's right. Saturday, without fail, it's a Star Wars t-shirt or from the video game Dishonored or a Firefly t-shirt or I'm blue jeans and t-shirt. But that says something about me too. On the other hand, if I meet a girl and she's immediately turned off by that, that's great. We're not going to get along.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, weed them out quickly.
I am 38 years old. I'm not going to change just to make a woman happy.
However, there is hope for people out there because the brain can always create a new neural pathway. So an old dog can learn new tricks.
It can. At the same time, like, our patterns change over time.
Yes,
Just
they
because
do.
I'm blue jeans and t-shirt today doesn't mean I will be that way in 5 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. There's hope for people.
We can learn. We can
Yep.
learn. So, Josh.
Yes, sir.
What's your takeaway from this article? Like, what would you tell the audience, or what did you get personally? Or
I mean, there's a healthy dose of duh in this article. It is one of those, though, like, stop and take a minute, take stock of yourself, take stock of your surroundings. So the apartment you live in, the desk that you work at, and stuff like that, because those things say something about you.
yeah,
And the question that you want to ask yourself is, does it say something about you that you're comfortable with? If you're the kind of guy that wears blue jeans and t-shirts and you're comfortable with that, then cool, rock on, do that. If your desk is all disheveled in that and you feel like it says that you're dirty and you don't feel like you're a dirty person, then maybe clean up your desk.
well, there needs to be like consistency. You're saying
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
It's always take a look at your image and see if it's saying what you want it to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should always be like Cher. Always like make yourself new again.
What is
And-
your takeaway, Emma? Do you have anything
Oh my gosh, I feel like we learned so much.
from the article or from Josh? Because Josh has a wealth of information.
Oh, from the
Josh
article.
talks too much.
From the article, I learned that first impressions are important.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. What about you, Zorric?
I learned that you can make quicker decisions. Like, we date for a while, and if there's a cheat sheet, I'm on it. And maybe recognizing things and learning how to recognize things faster.
You're gonna be the person that's gonna get like the chip installed into your brain, so you can like Google someone through your eye.
Yeah. I will walk in a restaurant and walk out really quick in 100 milliseconds. Like, oh,
I
no.
just imagine Terminator vision. It's all
Yes,
red.
that's
There's
gonna
like
be
data
Zorric.
just streaming in there, and Zorric's like, "No, this is not my place.
Bye.
Hasta la vista, baby."
I wish it was that easy. Gosh.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I think I mean, it's a thrill of the hunt for me too. Like it is
Yeah.
fun to like start new again.
Yeah. So, what did you learn about Josh?
I learned that Josh and I are very similar.
Okay.
We are test soulmates, if that is a thing.
Personality test. Soulmates.
Yes, personality test soulmates.
I think it's
Okay.
ENTJ or ESTJ. I think I go back and forth on one factor.
Yeah, me too. I go back on that second letter is what I switch on. Anyway,
What's your Enneagram, by the way? Aren't you a 3?
I'm a 3.
Are you a 3?
I don't know that one.
Okay, so we're off air. We're gonna make him take an Enneagram test.
We're 3.
Might have him post it. Yeah, we're both 3s. I made him take it.
Yeah. What else did you learn about
I don't
Josh?
want party.
I again got this mental image of you like hog-tying. So it's like, you're going to take this test.
With my nose, I'm like pushing the buttons.
It was actually after a lot of wine. I pulled out my iPad and I was like, "Here's the Enneagram test. Take it."
You will take this before you walk out that door, or I will kill you.
Basically, yeah. I don't know. Can we have Josh on again? He's a lot of fun.
We should, and then we shall.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And if you want nerdy science fiction references the whole time, I'm sure I can oblige.
As long as they're Sherlock.
So you were talking about making a quick decision. So there's a bit in, I think it's the Hagakure, that talks about making a decision within the span of 7 breaths so that should your head be separated from your body, you could complete that action with complete certainty. I don't know that we need to get that morose with it, but commit to your gut. Like if your gut says it's a good idea, go for it. If your gut says it's a
good
bad
idea for you to come back again.
So there you go.
Okay.
So Josh, what do you have for our audience? Any from your experience? Any quick tidbits or like advice? It seems like you got it all under control, Josh. It seems like you do.
Oh God, it seems that way. That's scary. That's not what I meant to put out at all. I don't have anything figured out, and I don't think anybody else does either. I guess the best like hope that I could wish for everybody is to stay cool, stay empathetic, be a polite person. So I like Zorric and I are both from Dallas Comedy House, and if you've ever done the Tuesday Night Jam, which I'm a normal fixture of, there are 3 rules at the jam. Rule number 1, have fun, because if you're not having fun, what the hell are you doing this for?
Right.
Rule number 2, like each other. In improv, that means make your characters like each other. But in real life,
like Zorric.
You know what? In real life, try to have a default position of liking people.
Yeah.
That's true.
Seriously. And rule number 3 is respect each other.
Yeah.
Now, again, in improv, that means, don't touch each other where you're not supposed to. Be nice to the stage. Don't break stuff. Try to leave things better than you find it. But in real life, respect each other. It's the same. Like, be cool to each other. Take a minute to think about the other person's perspective. Really listen to them and respond to what they're doing. By no means will that crack the code on dating, but it'll at least make it so that when you find that person, it's like excellent.
These are all therapeutic perspectives that have been put on a twist for improv.
There you go.
You know what? Improv is therapy.
I was going to say that a few
is.
times, and it sounds like very therapeutic, but I'm wondering which one's cheaper. Therapy or improv
Improv
classes.
is probably cheaper because you gotta have insurance. You have to have,
No,
whatever.
you don't. You can self-pay.
Yeah, but that's like
It's like $50 an hour, and
self-pay is like $200, right?
You guys,
Okay.
don't be cheap on your mental health.
improv is $285 for 7 weeks, and you do 6 levels, and you're done.
Okay, so
and then you
improv is
perform
cheaper.
for free.
Yeah.
All right, improv is cheaper, but I mean, you probably get more work done with a therapist. I'm just putting it out there.
It depends on what kind of work, but
Exactly.
all right, Josh. So how can everyone find you?
Yes.
Wow. I guess I'm really kind of more active on Instagram than probably anywhere else. I'm not like huge on social media these days, and I have a whole can of worms on why that is. But on Instagram, digital20, DIJITAL20.
We'll have that on the
Yeah.
image,
And
too.
it's a public Instagram post. You're going to see a lot of pictures of food and a lot of pictures of my kids. The food is all
Nice.
stuff I've generally cooked. And my kids, well, they're mine. I grew them.
Oh my gosh, she's a foodie, Emma. You're a foodie too.
I don't know that
foodie
I'm a
too.
foodie. I like to cook. Cooking
I
is
think
the
I'm gonna
best
have
free
Josh come over
therapy.
to our next wine night.
That sounds good. But is that a couples thing?
No, gosh, Zorric, you and
Oh.
I are always single, and I always have a single
I'm
lady
the only-
for you.
You know what, though? Cooking with a partner, best ever.
It's so hot.
Oh, my goodness.
Like,
And
yeah.
like a good relationship test. Like if you can move
That's
around each
true.
other in a kitchen,
Yeah.
that's good.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Okay, Josh. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Thanks, Emma. And that's all we have for today. If you want to reach us, you can find us at hello@davepodcast.com or at Date Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. All right. Bye.
Bye.